Today, today we're going to go ahead and mount the engine to the engine stand. We got to remove the clutch, so we're going to go over there and show you how to do that first. Take you over here. Alright, so here is our clutch. We got to remove these 10mm bolts. Actually, I think they're 12mm bolts. Looks like there's 6 of them, so that we can mount our engine stand right to the side of the block, so it can go over there onto that. So Brandon's going to zip off the clutch real quick, and I'm going to set you on the tripod. Alright, we've had our first casualty. My son was using a chrome bit instead of our impact bit, and we stripped out a flywheel bolt. Probably one of the worst bolts to strip out. So now we're going to drill it out. And Brandon over there is going to show you how to do it. Right, Brandon? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty excited about drilling. So we're going to show you guys how to fix it. All right, the first step, we're going to take a center punch, and we're going to find the center of the bolt and just tap it a few times, just so we have somewhere for the drill bit to ride into. Okay, our first step, we're going to start with a 16th inch drill bit, and we're just going to make sure we keep the drill as parallel to the bolt as we can. We don't want to use too much pressure. We want to use just enough to where it can cut. These are brand new drill bits, so they cut in pretty good. You want to keep it lubricated so that you don't heat up your bit. Just spray it on there. Just spray it on there. Just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to switch this out with a little bit bigger bit. We'll probably hit 3 different drill bits as we work our way up where we can break it loose. Start with number 2 drill bit. You can see the difference in size. We're just we're going to gradually work our way up to where we can get the head broke loose. Because it helps get the metal out of the hole. And then I like to clean the drill bit too. Go ahead. Think about your first mess up.
Not fun.
No, we figured we'd show you how to fix it, because I'm sure it's not going to be the last time. I've probably done this 50 times in my life, and I hate it every time. Alright, so we've got a little bit of progress there on the hole. He's just switching out the bits. Our drill bit, actually I think our 4th. Alright, we're going to try to see if we can zip it off with the impact. See how that goes. Alright, so we're going to go to the old hammer and chisel dolly thing, see if we can try to figure out if we can make that work. Alright, so I was able to just kind of mushroom out the bolt. Okay, now we're making some progress. We've cut almost all of the bolt off, but I think what we're going to do now is just grind it, and I want to leave us enough of a little head so that maybe we can, put a vice grip on it and pull it off once we get the clutch pack off. Now we went to a 1/2 inch. I'm just going to try to break the head off just enough so we get that clutch off. So I'm going to try to hit this for a minute. So I'm going to just try to break off the head and hope that I'm got enough of the bolts off. Looks like that might work. Alright. So there you can see it sucked, but we can drill it out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up, and I'm going to put some vice grips on this and see if I can maybe break this loose. I might do the same thing and drill out a hole right through the center and just kind of work my way out, or I might just take it to the machine shop and have them do it. But at least we got the clutch off. Now we can mount the bracket for the engine stand. Alright, this isn't something that usually happens, but we totally lucked out. Look at that. I can pull that out by my fingers. That is pure luck after half an hour of drilling. But yep, we're good to go. So now we'll zip off the flywheel, get the engine stand bracket mounted, and put her up in the air. Okay, on that last clip, I wanted to show you a couple things. What happened is Brandon used a chromoly socket that's really not designed for use on an impact gun like this. What you want to use is these black impact sockets. They're designed to be in, they're just designed to work off the impact. They're a lot better to use for this type of situation. So I hit these flywheel bolts with a little bit of liquid wrench, kind of help loosen them up. And then I'm just going to zip off this flywheel. Alright, there's the flywheel. We will be replacing the clutch because this is burnt quite severe, and I'll take you over to the clutch pack and show you that. Here's the clutch. I'm going to show you what it looks like. This side's not so bad. You can see that the relief cuts aren't so worn out, but on the other side they're pretty worn out. So you can see how there's the cooling fins on the clutch plate are kind of missing, and we've got a lot of, looks like this has been hot a few times, especially like right here. You can kind of see it's burned. So we will be replacing the clutch pack and having the flywheel surfaced at the machine shop. Okay, well, we did it. We got it all finished up, mounted on the stand. We did have that little setback having to drill out that flywheel bolt. Sometimes that happens, and so hopefully you learned something from that. And I guess maybe next week we'll go through and we'll tear it all down. We'll show you the videos on that, get it sent off to the machine shop. We're pretty much done for tonight. So please rate, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you on next week's video. Bye. Let me show you what we had to do here. We were able to use all the stock bell housing bolts, except for this one right back here. We had to go to Home Depot and grab a hardened bolt. It was 5 inches long by 1/2 inch, because this one here just bolted into the transmission, so it wasn't long enough to mount to the stand. But that's basically how it's set up here in the back. We just got it bolted into the factory bell housing bolts and got it all tightened down, and works like a champ. I think what we're going to probably do is move this forward a little bit, because the engine seems to be sitting kind of to the side, so I think we probably need to tilt it this way a little bit so that it's straight up and down when it's centered right here, and it's obviously not like that. But that's pretty much it for tonight.